Roman Reigns is challenging for more WWE titles. The final of the World Heavyweight Championship tournament has been set. And there was a big heel turn on SmackDown. Stay tuned for the news. We're just 2 weeks away from Night of Champions, and it's looking to be quite a good show. I'm quite excited for this upcoming Premium Live event. And I'm quite excited for the tag team title match because it's not something I expected would happen, but it's sure what I want to happen. Roman Reigns made his return to SmackDown last night to sort of address the Usos and the Bloodline and the sort of state of the Bloodline since WrestleMania. We've seen them kind of broken, kind of a little bit.
Tension's been on the rise, especially following Backlash with Solo. It's sort of... things are starting to turn a little bit sour.
Just a little bit. And it looked like Reigns was a little bit unhappy with the Usos on SmackDown last night. Heyman sort of made an announcement that once again the Bloodline will challenge for the tag team titles at Night of Champions. And the Usos looked all hyped and excited that they were going to get another title match. But no. He announced that it will be Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the titles, which is not a match I think anyone...
No, especially in Saudi Arabia with Sami Zayn.
That's the key thing there. Sami Zayn doesn't travel to Saudi Arabia for these shows due to religious reasons, and Kevin Owens also has not appeared on any of the shows since the very first one. A lot of speculation that it's in support of Sami Zayn, but it looks like Sami will be going to the show in 2 weeks' time at Night of Champions. WrestleOps saying on Twitter, giving some insight as to why this could be. They said, for those confused about Sami Zayn all of a sudden working Saudi Arabia shows now, a reason that could hint up clearance. A few days ago, after more than a decade, Saudi Arabia and Syria decided to resume diplomatic working relations in both countries. Now, Sami Zayn from Syrian heritage, obviously there's some little tension with Saudi Arabia there.
Quite a lot of tension.
Quite a lot of tension, yeah.
So it's quite severe, which is obviously sort of led into, it's political, potentially personal religious reasons as to why. So
that's the reason why Sami's not gone in the past. But it looks like going forward, he may be on those shows.
There's 2 weeks to go, so anything can happen.
Exactly.
Well, so.
Do we think Roman Reigns on the 1,000 day mark will then add 2 more titles to his collection?
I sort of think so. At the same time, I don't know. But the thing is, you had before all of this, Roman was demanding an apology from the Usos, and he was really going off on them a little bit, and it got to a point where they almost squared up, and then I think Jay jumped in. Jimmy was kind of backing off. Jay jumped in to apologize, and then Heyman announced it. So it kind of feels like it would further their storyline, but at the same time, having this sort of perennial roadblock in the form of Zayn and Owens is a good thing for the storyline. So I don't think we're going to see maybe an Uso turn and cost Roman or anything, but potentially I can see Roman leaving with the titles, but I can also see him, a hard-fought match that it just gets scuppered. Maybe Solo takes the pin.
I personally think he's going to leave with the belts because it's the 1,000 day mark, add 2 new belts to his collection.
And it's Saudi Arabia.
It's Saudi Arabia, and then Triple H can introduce 2 new tag team belts and go, well, no one else can win them because he's off.
These are the tag team world champion WWE ships.
Bring back the old design. Oh, do that for us, Triple H. But jumping over to AEW just now, we've got a little update from the Wrestling Observer as to why Tony Khan and AEW didn't choose to run Fulham's Craven Cottage.
And instead chose to run Wembley.
What?
Much bigger.
Big Wembley. They said not the arena here, Wembley Stadium. But he said the Wrestling Observer says that while Tony Khan had considered Fulham's home stadium for the upcoming UK AEW show, they went against it because of the cost to host the show there, as Wembley is far more cost effective. The report also notes that while it may still happen in the future, the cost of running a show there would be over $1 million, and that a sellout wouldn't be all that profitable.
Yeah, I mean, Craven Cottage is what? It'll be north of 20,000 maybe with people on the pitch, for floor seating. But Wembley is more cost effective in the way that there's just more seats. You can sell at a range of prices. You're going to do, fairly well at least. They're doing much better than a lot of people thought. And therefore, you're going to make more money, overall. You might make less per head, but you're going to make more overall. So I think it makes sense. Maybe we'll see Craven Cottage for like a taping or like a TV, a live TV broadcast. I think that could be really special. I think they could pull in maybe 20-odd thousand for a particularly hot Dynamite. Or...
Even still, I think if they were to announce a taping over here, they could pull in a big audience.
Oh, yeah.
If they'd gone that this Dynamite was just a special one in Wembley, I guarantee that people would still be.
I think if they were running Dynamite in
numbers.
Wembley, we'd maybe be talking about a different sort of level
numbers.
of sales, but it would definitely shift.
It would still shift, I think. But yeah, it's exciting. Maybe we'll see Craven Cottage host AEW in the future. But jumping back over to WWE, last night Cameron Grimes made his debut on SmackDown. Last week we saw a little backstage segment between him and Baron Corbin.
What a debut.
Yeah, do you want to tell us about it, Sam?
Yeah, so we had that little back and forth last week, which kind of led to Corbin being the gatekeeper. The guy's like, you want to be here, then welcome to the Salty Spittoon, how tough are you, basically? So Corbin's going to be the first roadblock. Corbin gets down to the ring, runs his mouth a little bit. The bell eventually rings. Grimes hits him with the cave-in. 1, 2, 3. Defeats Baron Corbin in 3 seconds. It was glorious.
It was great, and it was a really fun way to sort of kick off his time on SmackDown. Baron kind of promo about him being Mr. Irrelevant because he was the last pick in the WWE draft, and then Grimes, as you said, just hitting the cave-in for the very quick victory. Now Baron Corbin can take this loss and not damage him because it's Baron Corbin and he's great.
It just sort of fits with him, doesn't it? But I think even if this turns into like a little feud, I'm quite excited to see where it goes because Grimes is just he's going to be such a big deal. He's going to be such a big deal. He
seems to be one of the guys that they might position as sort of that upper mid card sort of level. I feel like he could be a guy that could take the US title.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Get him straight into the US title scene. I think that'd be quite nice.
The moon, definitely. But going back to Night of Champions, we've had the final of the World Heavyweight Championship tournament confirmed. What happened, Sam?
So we've had obviously there was the 2 triple threat matches per brand to get us down to so SmackDown saw the second set of qualifying matches for the tournament. AJ Styles managed to defeat Edge and Rey Mysterio in his first triple threat match, while Bobby Lashley put away Austin Theory and Sheamus in his. Both men met in the main event to determine who will face Seth Rollins at Night of Champions. Drum roll, please. It's AJ Styles. He defeated Bobby Lashley to advance and will have a shot at winning the new championship at the PLE pay-per-view. Despite AJ being a SmackDown star, if he is to win the belt, it means he's going to have to go over to the red brand because it's a Raw exclusive title.
It'll be interesting to see if he does win it, which I personally don't think he will, but if he takes the OC with him or if they would be stuck on SmackDown.
Yeah,
because
it's got to be Seth, right?
I think it has to be. It's Seth's belt. Seth has had the past... Well, he's not been world champion for 3 years, and it feels well overdue. He feels earned, and him versus AJ will just be a great match. But it is definitely Seth's time to have another run with it.
Absolutely.
But AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, what a fantastic match to sort of usher in this championship belt.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people kind of leaning into the Edge thing, especially after he did that promo, and it was sort of like, I can see it, but I feel like it would, while it'd be a really nice thing to see Edge once again with, a big gold-esque belt, it would feel like a bit of a waste to give it to a legend, right? This is a belt you need on maybe not even an upcoming star, but a fresh star that maybe is reassuming a position toward the top of the card.
Yeah, and it's, as you said, it repositions them at the top of the card. That gives Seth that sort of the next few months to showcase his talents and really put across why this is the next big belt.
And it keeps Cody back away from it as well, which I was kind of worried about. If it went straight to Cody, it'd maybe feel like a consolation prize.
Like I've said, his dad never won that belt either, so it doesn't matter. He could win that. Dusty never won it. But there was a big heel turn on SmackDown last night as well. Bianca Belair hosted a hometown championship celebration on SmackDown to sort of celebrate the fact that she's broken the longest record for the Raw Women's Championship. But she was interrupted by Asuka early on. She came out and it seemed like she was congratulating Bianca. Seems like she was, all happy for Bianca's big championship reign. Went to shake her hand, but it was all a swerve because she sprayed black mist in her face, but not just any. Asuka claims on social media she put hot chili in the black mist.
The black mist.
The black mist. That must hurt. That must sting a little bit.
She was saying that she was eating the Nissin hot and spicy noodles and she had the genius idea. Bianca sold it like death.
It was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, she was in a lot of pain. I think that it just adds that extra edge, right? Because it's going to suck getting something sprayed in your eyes anyway. It obscures your vision. You've got to do all this to get it out, and and there's all the dye everywhere. But I think adding the extra element of heat, and heel Asuka, I'm all for.
That's the thing. I think everyone's been wanting heel Asuka for quite a while, or at least a bit more, as you said, edge to the character, make her a bit more sort of vicious. And it looks like we'll maybe see this rematch from WrestleMania at Night of Champions, which is just a few weeks' time. I kind of hope Asuka takes the belt.
I'd be keen to see that too.
Like, I don't want to say that we're bored of Bianca's reign, but
not at all.
We've hit the record.
Yeah, I think that it's just one of those things about title reigns is you've got to lose the belt to become a multi-time champion.
Exactly.
It's so to accrue that Charlotte Flair style legacy, you do have to drop the belt. But I think Asuka is especially this more unhinged Asuka we're beginning to see. It just let the chains off completely. I want to see it go wild.
Yeah, as do I. So hopefully we'll see that match confirmed for Night of Champions. But in the meantime, stay tuned to Cultaholic.com for all the latest wrestling news. Sam, have you got anything you want to plug? Any videos that you've been working podcasts out?
I'm just working on mega big long things. So podcast, yes, that's out now on the channel. Night. It went over 4 hours. It's a big boy.
Oh my God, that is a big, beefy, girthy boy. So go and check that out just now. In the meantime, we are going to get a coffee and we'll be back later on. So see you later.